but I think what I want to say here, especially for the listeners that might have been in the place that I was not long ago, I had to disentangle king archetype from cultural historical king understanding, and that's largely what I was assuming was the archetype, which was why I was repressing it. It wasn't that king was dangerous, it was that the social cultural common understanding of king you're in a patriarchal society, what represses women and people whose skin is anything other than white. That's the king I thought was the king within me, and so that's why he didn't get a seat at the table of my being. And so as I've distinguished that that's like a social cultural layer on top of the king energy, I've created its freedom. And so I actually, one of my, this as the magician in me loves to look at the language and the history, and I looked into the word king, and I found that its root is the same as the word kind. Both of those words, king and kind, etymologically emerged from kin, which means family. And so that opened up the possibility that for me, that at the core of it, a king is kindness. And so a benevolent king is maybe the only true king. And a tyrannical king, which is the common association with the word king, people who don't necessarily work in archetypes just think of king, maybe that's not a king. Maybe that's not a true king. And maybe benevolent kingship is true kingship. And so that possibility helped me to get to the essence of king being, again, raising order from chaos, bringing structure, bringing rule, bringing order. And when I looked at that as a possibility, that's an expression of kindness, not of tyranny, I could start to see that too. And it's like, oh, maybe tyranny versus, that's just a layer on top of it. It doesn't need to be that way. Fear-based, ego-based kingship. So yeah, I think those are the main things that distinguish it for me.